So it seems like lately I've been noticing a very interesting divide in the community of World of Warcraft, especially even on my own channel, where if you make a good video, people praise it, sometimes they hate it, and if you make a bad video, they praise that, but they hate that as well. And I find it quite interesting to see a lot of these Blizzard shills or these defenders come out of the woods, some of these basement dwellers as well, that will put a sword and shield in front of Blizzard no matter what, even if they do wrong or do right. You can never talk bad about their game. Well, guess what? Papatel is here to talk mad shit, so say something in the comments below, bitches. Much love to ya.
This is the Gamerhood, and you are not welcome.
That's why I need to be here.
Now, before we say anything or get further into the video, Ironforge Pro, you guys know how I feel about this. These are just raid logs. These are not actual representation of how many people are playing the game, but I will say, just to clarify, because sometimes people can act like, you know, complete retarded clowns in the comments, this is a decent representation of people actually logging because these are legitimate logs. And if you are in a raid and one person logs in your raid, that logs the entire raid. So it doesn't mean it's 157k people, but multiple people playing multiple characters raiding each week is representing what you see on Ironforge Pro. So let's continue. Now, according to the website, it's 157,000 logs. That is the lowest participated opening week so far in the Classic timeline, since Cataclysm, since Wrath, since TBC. And it really goes to show you right now that I believe, at least in my personal opinion, once again, I gotta state that out because people in the comments are ready to fight me already, that Blizzard released Mists of Pandaria at the wrong time, at the wrong place. And the reason I say this is because we just had Mott Remix. Mott Remix, a lot of people played, they enjoyed it, they went back to retail. And quite frankly, retail is a version of the game that is always getting continued upon. It's always getting improved, and the devs are constantly working on retail. And I already know people in the comments below are going to say, but retail's dog shit, it's a misrepresentation. No one's denying that part, jackass. I'm talking about the fact that the devs work on the current game, and it's the most successful MMO out of every MMO in the world right now. That's just a fact. So, commente por favor, right? Or get your ass slapped up. Besides that, I just had to pimp smack a commenter below. What I'm trying to say is that retail is the most active version of the game. They released it at the wrong time because Mott Remix came out. Season 3 of retail is currently happening as well. On top, let's not forget, AQ just dropped with Anniversary. And Anniversary's logs are looking pretty damn good right now. We might have to come back to another video in a week or so, or maybe in a couple days, who knows, because AQ's logs might surpass MOP's logs, because people are going to get eventually bored of MSV. They're going to participate in Heart of Fear and the Terrace of Endless Spring, of course, but we're going to have to come back and redo this conversation at another time, so stay tuned when a future video comes out for sure. But where I also believe Blizzard went wrong is that a lot of the classic player base that really is a proportion of their game as well, besides the retail player base, is really just over things that are not permanent. And I think that's a problem. And I understand why people are leaving to other MMOs, such as old school RuneScape, or probably trying other games out as well. There's a wave of new other games besides MMOs that are coming out, like Battlefield 6. A lot of people are really excited about BF6. A lot of people are looking forward to future things like Arc Raiders and other games as well that are coming out. So right now, at the current moment, I think Blizzard messed up because it was the timing of everything. Everything that happened internally with all their versions of WoW. And I think even as a team, they're probably getting a little tired of having so many versions of World of Warcraft. And for them, Mists of Pandaria was really the question opener if they should continue this classic era to go into WoD. And here's where the survey comes back into play, where people in my last video, they were trying to claim that the survey was fake, that I wasn't talking to anybody. There were some comments below, people just running their mouth. And what do you know? Other content videos start coming out on the survey, more posts on Twitter coming about the survey. I'm not giving you misinformation here, guys. I'm not trying to stir you the wrong way, but if you don't believe me, simply put, don't watch the fucking video. Much love to you. Go choke on a shish kebab and swallow it whole. Yeah, lock in. Obviously in Minecraft, don't actually choke on it. Settle down. That's the truth. The survey was legit. Blizzard is genuinely curious about where they should take this version of Classic, because honestly, they wanted to know if MOP is going to be a success for them, to push on into WoD? Should they continue this, or should they find another source to make income for? Because you have to remember, this is a business, guys. Blizzard is trying to find a way to milk as much as they can out of the consumer base. And don't get me wrong, they're doing a great job with retail in terms of what they are, making every year. It's one of their most successful things that they got. They have nothing else. Retail is their cash cow. It's the money earner. It's the thing that pays the bills and gets the mozzarella. All right, it gets the pepperonis. All right, stop moving your fucking hand. You get what I'm saying, though. That's their breadwinner right there. And to be honest with you, Mop is just this like side piece, like a prostitute in New York, $20 and let's have a good time for 20 minutes, settle down. Like when it comes to Classic, Blizzard really just doesn't care too much to put all their eggs into the basket because they realize all their players are really just playing retail. But for the Classic scene, I really feel like overall, Mop could have came out at a different place at a different time and could have seen better numbers. It could have been triple of the numbers that it once, had right now with the 157k logs, according to Ironforge Pro. It could have been like 300k, like when Kata was coming out, it had 300k plus players playing that. Season of Discovery had several players playing it before the fall off of Phase 3. So I really feel like it was a wrong time, wrong place situation. I also really feel like that Blizzard needs to kind of understand where their player base is heading and realize that there's probably too many versions of WoW right now. That is the biggest problem. And this is where we talk about what players want. And this is a very important conversation to have. Because I think right now, and I remember talking about this a while back with Sam Medina, shout out to him, but Sam Medina always said that he liked seasonal servers. And I personally believe seasonal servers do not do well. I think the only reason Season of Discovery did well was because it was something new, it was something fresh, and it was a form of Classic Plus, maybe even Classic Minus, whatever you want to call it. It was different from Season of Mastery. But I don't think seasonal servers do well in the long haul, and I think we're starting to see that now, especially with more players going over to old school RuneScape, which is a continuation of a game that is always adding new content to their product. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been dabbling around with it a little bit here lately, kind of on the low though. I haven't been streaming it or doing it live or making videos about it, but we'll see how much I like the game and we'll see how much I get further involved into it. If a game has continuation and support and their devs listen to their community and they vote new things in and out and the game's never changing to become something else, that's a good game. And my character means something there. And I don't even care if this was Guild Wars 2. I don't care if this was, Final Fantasy 14. I'm talking about my character is always there. I play it. I stay involved. And I don't have to feel like I have to upgrade every time to just catch up. And it's always following a catch-up mechanic over and over and over again. When it's really supposed to be just an MMO that's just you enjoy your time there in this sandbox and have a good time. That's something that I'm really, personally looking forward to. And we could also talk about this as well as from other people's point of view, what they're saying on Twitter. Right here, this individual, Carlos, is saying, not too surprised by this, although Mop was very enjoyable for me. I think the reason it isn't as successful is kind of obvious. For most, anything past Wrath isn't Classic. 100%. I personally think, though, Classic really is only vanilla WoW, and the only other expansions that were ever better or a part of the original trilogy was really TBC and Wrath. Anything after Arthas, in my opinion, really didn't matter. That's just to me personally. We just mopped Remix last year, which is 100% true. If you played the fuck out of Mop Remix like I did, you probably didn't really give a fuck really too much about Mists of Pandaria Classic, because you already did it, and now you're playing the newest retail patch, which he's talking about right here. Overlapping release with the new retail patch. Also, on top of AQ releasing as well, and on top of the fact, like, let's be honest here, there are other private servers people are starting to play too. And also here he says, I'd argue that the release felt much more like an easy cash grab to people than others. He's kind of not wrong. Let's talk about the next individual. It looks like we have Sea-Doo making another post again saying, I think Mop is the last expansion that will be re-released. No shot they go further. I also thought too that they wouldn't go any further, but we'll see. I mean, I thought they were never going to pass Wrath. They did Kata. I thought they wouldn't do Kata. They did Mop. I really think they'll still do WoD at a faster 12-month time period, and people might enjoy that. But at the same time, I think people are starting to wake up to realize that they want something that is legitimate, set in stone, and they don't want to keep remaking a character or continuing a character just for them to get them back into the retail train, which it seems like World of Warcraft is kind of, the classic player base is kind of heading to. Then that's what Blizzard wants. And then also Sea-Doo says also the leveling experience in Mop sucked, was way too long. And I truthfully believe, yeah, that the experience of leveling wasn't that great. I mean, a lot of people did monkey runs. I mean, of course you could just, do quests and take your time. But personally, I don't think the overall leveling experience was very fun. The zones are pretty. Obviously, people love the lore. I'm not going to shit on the lore enjoyers. I know you like it. But for the most part, I do think the leveling experience, what they did with the 35% or 30% XP reduction, was just not necessary to remove that in the first place. And they could have kept that and keep incentivizing more people to make alts. But I'm sure people are still enjoying their time. So I won't hate on people for that one. And here's another content creator, Annie Fuchsia. She basically says, honestly, I think the real reason is Mop is basically retail, and classic enjoyers have fallen off. And to be honest with you, I 100% agree with her. I think a lot of classic Andes right now are tuning out of Mop because they already know what Mop was like back in the day. They know Mop is also one of the turning points besides Cataclysm, besides the end of Wrath, you can also argue about as well, that people just kind of clocked out of Blizzard Entertainment when it comes to what their game once was. And it's not to hate on those players that, either love Mop or you don't like Mop, but you can't deny that a lot of classic people are just really looking for something else. They are not really looking to continue with a version of the game that really started applying more to, the Mythic Plus, and applying more to the sweatier players that just wanted more reactive-based content. And that took away from the original vision of what really World of Warcraft and what Classic was all about at the end of the day. And I think that's what leads us to our next segue and what we want to talk about here. Now, this is the part of the video you probably didn't expect right here. We got the suit on because, chat, we're sitting with the boardroom right now. Much love to ya. We're sitting with the Blizzard devs, and this is where we're talking with the devs, and this is what we ask right now. What the fuck do players want? And I think that's the ultimate question that they might have said themselves. We have no idea. And that's why they ask these things on these surveys, even though people think the surveys are fake. They're all fake. Blizzard knows what they're doing. Shut your bitch ass up, bro. I wouldn't bring this information up if I didn't know what the fuck I'm talking about, pussy.
And I want to tell you that I declined a $5,000 deal to play Mists of Pandaria to fucking play this game, so put some respect on my name, man!
The fact of the matter is this. What do the players want, Blizzard?
What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
I think they want longevity. I don't think they want 1,000 different versions of World of Warcraft anymore. Like, you're going to milk the train from, Mop, which is currently doing 150 plus K less than Kata from the logs. You're going to bring that to WoD. That's probably going to do less. You're going to bring that to Legion. That'll probably be more because Legion was pretty hype. But at that point, what is your goal? You're going to try to bring players back to retail? I think we know this is the goal already. And then what are you going to do with the AQ boys, which are having a great time over there, by the way? Shout out to the Classic Anniversary community. I'm proud of you guys actually fucking enjoying your game. I'm not going to hate. I can't hate. Don't shoot me in the comments below because I've hated in the past. I'm not trying to hate this time. But, hey, you guys are doing fucking good. But now look at them. They're going to go to TBC, though. And what, you going to bring those guys to Wrath? You going to bring those guys to Kata? Or you going to bring those guys to Mop? You think they want to be fucking janitors? No. They want to be fucking pimps, bitch.
I don't know what you heard about me. What up, you can't get it out of me.
Probably not that, but you get what I'm saying. What I'm getting at is that I think this train of getting people back to retail is kind of like, 2020 vision at this point. We get what you're trying to do. It's not what the players want, though. They want something that other MMOs are offering their communities, and they have long-lasting games, and they don't feel like they need to log on and be outdated with gear and do 1,000, loops and holes and jumps and tricks on dicks for fucking a 5-point upgraded gear piece. You know what I mean? They're tired of that. And I think players want to see something that's everlasting. They want to see your seasonal concepts work, but those characters get brought back to the realms and they could still play those characters. Not like Season of Discovery, where you have a character and he's there and you got all those things and you can't transfer them over because you guys have some type of fucking spaghetti schmetti code going on that fucking Stevie Wonder can probably read, I have no idea if that dude's truthfully blind or not. Maybe he is fully blind. No disrespect. I'm kind of blind too with these glasses. Shut the fuck up is what I'm saying. Shut the fuck up. But please, Blizzard, please just listen to your player base. Keep continuing hearing feedback. Ask those surveys. I don't give a fuck if you're even asking them. Shoot out 1,000 more surveys if you want to. Because at the end of the day, it's better that you guys are asking questions than to not ask questions. Actually showing the surveys is a good thing. Even though I'm laughing at it a little bit because obviously I like to troll and I like to bait and these people in the comments fall for it, which is fucking beautiful. But yes, shoot the fucking surveys because people want to know what's going on. I'd rather take a fucking couple surveys or two and smoke a doink and chill out than not see any surveys at all and see that you guys just don't want to actually ask the players anything. This is important for you guys to ask the players things. And I would also like to see you guys do some live stream cast like the Diablo team did. Do some live casts, talk with your community, the classic community, and say that we have some plans in store, and we want to hear your feedback from you guys. We need to change our ways of thinking, we need to change our ways of listening, and we need to be able to handle the feedback you guys are going to give, whether they're the tough questions or they're not the tough questions. This is very important for trust that you guys claim that you're built upon, and that's the form of trust that we need to see, and I hope in the future that we get to see a beautiful version of one game, not 1,000, one fucking game of World of Warcraft. That's where I end the video. I think that was a pretty fucking good point. Locking in, boys. Much love to you. We be live on the Twitch when I come around sometimes. Sometimes I don't. But if I am on. I'm about to spit right now. I'm usually on at nighttime to the late morning. It depends. Sometimes it's 8 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes it's 10 p.m. Eastern. If you catch me, it's like a rarity. It's like seeing a Snorlax at a Chinese buffet. Settle down. And he's right over there. Snorlax. He's right over there. He's right here, you fucking fucks. I'll catch you on the next one. Lock it in. It tastes like the sewage water in Patterson, New Jersey. I heard a lot of shit's going down over there. Anybody from Patterson? Lock it in if you're from the New Jersey side. Yeah. Much love to you. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, bitches.